Welcome, everyone. Hi, I'm Steve Farrell, the Worldwide Executive Director for Humanities Team. And Spirituality, the Process of Going Within, is one of our important panels this year, and this panel begins right now. We're going to talk about the process of really living as one with the divine in each other, seeing the sacred in others and our earth home, and the process of communing with the divine within. Truly remarkable leaders are joining us today: Patricia Cota-Robles, Matt Kahn, and Kenji Kimura. If you're journeying into oneness and you'd like to embrace your fullest personal expression of this, you are in the right place. Don't worry about taking notes unless you want to. On the Global Oneness Day upgrade page, you can order digital audio links and transcripts, and for a limited time, there's a $100 discount on these packages. To learn more, go to globalonenesssummit.org and click on the upgrade button at the top. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to our panel now. I'll introduce panel members one at a time, and then we'll go right to questions and panel discussion. Matt Kahn is an author, spiritual teacher, and highly attuned empathic healer. His spontaneous awakening arose out of an out-of-body experience at the age of 8. Many spiritual seekers have experienced amazing, unexplainable physical and emotional healings and have awakened to their true nature through Matt's profound, loving, and often humorous teachings and transmission of Sacred Heart wisdom. Welcome to Global Oneness Day, Matt.
Well, thanks for having me. It's truly an honor to be here.
Great to have you. And next, Patricia Cota-Robles is co-founder and president of the nonprofit educational organization New Age Study of Humanity's Purpose, which sponsors the annual World Congress on Illumination. The divine intent is to give humanity greater clarity and understanding as we progress through these wondrous but extremely challenging times on Earth. Patricia is an internationally known teacher and has taught workshops on world peace globally. Welcome to Global Oneness Day, Patricia.
Well, thank you, Steve. It's wonderful to be here on this very, very powerful and special day.
Yes, it is. Thanks for being here, Patricia. And next, Kenji Kimura shares and serves as an initiator of universal quantum energy and a catalyst for the new Earth consciousness. He says now is the time to step forth into enlightenment and self-empowerment with infinite and divine source energy, the one vibration of love, through the power of love and grace, the presence of now, then trust in the infinite possibilities in this new Earth consciousness. And welcome to Global Oneness Day, Kenji.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much, Steve. It's great to be here on this beautiful day.
Yes, it is. Beautiful around in these different parts of the country from where we are. And thank you again, Kenji. Okay, and I want to share again, just as I did a few minutes ago, that I'm really honored to be here with each of you. Truly, it's a privilege and a pleasure to be here with a panel such as yourselves. Thank you so much for being part of Global Oneness Day. This is a just super exciting panel, and we only have an hour, so we're going to go ahead and just jump right into the program. And Matt, if it's okay, I'm going to start with you.
Sure.
We understand, of course, that spiritual growth is a very personal and intimate experience. However, can you share unique ways that a person can evolve to know they are one with the divine and experience that connection?
Absolutely. When the divine is connected to the truth of its eternal nature, the presence or arising of love is noticed. And so it's very common for a being who says, I feel deficient or imbalanced in my life, to then want to seek a greater spiritual connection, which is often where a lot of spiritual paths will begin, fueled by that desire for greater connection. And yet, instead of going out towards greater clarity, instead of going up towards higher dimensions, instead we actually go within. And in the new spiritual paradigm, going within is actually just being exactly where we are, with the only difference being, can I make more time to be the source of my own loving fulfillment? Can I allow my body to feel safer in the world that I perceive? Can I allow my nervous system to relax and unwind? Can I be the love I've been looking for? Can I be the one that gives me greater encouragement, greater attention, and greater moments of love? And when we make time throughout the day to love ourselves more instead of less, we merge with the divine to experience ourselves as we've always been, to see our lives through the eyes of the universe. And so in the way that I see reality, in the way that it comes transmitted through me, the way a being creates greater spiritual connection is by learning to love themselves more, not less.
Oh, beautiful. Gosh, don't you wish that for every person? And truly stunning, and just to live in the invitation of who we truly are. Thank you. And Patricia, as divine beings of light, each of us have been preparing, as you say, for eons to fulfill a unique facet of the divine plan, which is now unfolding. How can a person know they have tapped into the unique purpose calling that only they can fulfill?
Well, this is something, Steve, that unfolds day by day with us. Our I Am presence, the divinity within us, knows exactly what that divine plan is. And I was a marriage and family counselor for 20 years, and people were always coming saying, I know I have a purpose, but I have to handle these challenges in my life and this financial situation or this health crisis or whatever, and then I'm going to start fulfilling my divine plan. What we need to just start accepting and knowing, it's just a slight adjustment in our awareness, is that we already are that divine being, and everything we need is already within us. So our focus needs to be that every single moment of every single day, with every single thought, word, action, feeling, memory, belief we express, we have the opportunity to either add to the light of the world or add to the shadows. And when we start deliberately, consciously saying, how can I handle this situation in my life that enhances the light of the world, then our I Am presence brings us the next level and then the next level. We have to just start right here, right now, in this moment, being the instrument of God and the light worker that we have been preparing for lifetimes to be, by handling every moment that way. And then our divine plan, the next wave comes into our life, the next opportunity, the next person, and moment by moment, it just naturally evolves and develops.
Well, I think people are definitely relaxing into this. I know I am really stunning, and moment by moment, really coming into the fullness of it, if we'll just allow it. Thank you, Patricia. And Kenji, let me bring you in here. What do you mean when you speak of a quantum approach to spiritual well-being and wellness?
That basically is literally seeing your life through the eyes of your soul. So that implies moving your life forward from a place of the oneness and a sense of connection, rather than from a place of, I need this, or I have to do this, or I'm lacking this, so therefore I've got to do that in order to feel good about myself. So the quantum is our natural state of being. That's the field of energy we were born into, and that's the field of energy we're going to leave this plane in.
Nice. And Kenji, let me just keep going with this. How can a person then harness that their innate power and knowledge through the quantum field of many possibilities and achieve healing and awakening to their divine, the truth of their divine self?
Well, if we get out of the box of limited thinking and we acknowledge that our divine birthright is this field of oneness and many possibilities, that we were born in divine spirit, an extension of, and therefore have all the characteristics, shall we say, of spirit. So if we all are born in the image and likeness of, well, there you go. And we just have to remember that is our focus. And whenever we get flustered and stressed out, we can just stop for a moment, breathe deeply, connect, and feel that power moving through your body and through your awareness. So I would say on a practical level, any practice that gets you into this state is necessary in order to become the state that we are seeking, i.e. the oneness and this feeling of connection, the feeling that, yes, I am this power and this is my birthright.
Amen. boy, is it time to step away from limited thinking, limited beliefs, or what? So thank you. Thank you, Kenji. You know, I'm curious because, again, you all are just such incredible models of what this panel is about, spirituality, the process of going within. And Matt, if I can come back to you, just your own process for going within to commune with the divine, what on a daily basis or throughout the day, or you know, what is your own spiritual practice? How does that work?
Well, it's interesting because in the very beginning, I had a variety of different spiritual practices. And about 10 years ago, I entered a state which is often referred to as samadhi, which is a permanent meditative state. And so for me, for the last 10 years, I actually live in a state of eternal communion where for me, there's no real on switch or off switch. There's no sense of I'm more connected or I'm disconnected. I've been in a state of connection for about 10 years in that state of samadhi. But leading up to that moment where that shift occurred, which for me, the shift actually occurred, and then I didn't even notice the shift had occurred for 2 years. So it was really funny how that happened. But prior to that, and even in my own living practice, even as I live in that state of samadhi, and as I talked about in my earlier answer about taking more time to love ourselves more often, even when a being reaches a state where they on a personal level have been loved decisively, where every moment of their history has been healed with love, then my body becomes the universal body. And I love my heart just as I've done throughout my spiritual path, and sitting down and doing I love yous, and literally just with my hand on my heart, closing my eyes and saying to my heart, I love you. But in this current day and age for me, I'm not saying I love you to a personal self. I'm saying I love you to my heart, as if my heart is the one heart beating in all hearts. So every day I'm loving my heart to heal the imbalances and the pains and the tragedies that lurk in every person's heart. I'm loving my innocence as a way of healing the innocence of all. And so in today's day and age, I'm loving myself as I've always done throughout my spiritual progression, but I'm now loving myself as a way of uplifting the entire planet, not just easing the worries of a personal self anymore. So it's kind of the same process, but it's just taken on a larger scale of implications.
Wow, we'll come back to that. That sounds like something that we can all add to our spiritual practice because, of course, the world needs all of our love now. So what a beautiful way to enter into a spiritual practice on a daily basis. Patricia, let me come over to you. You share there's an ascension process that's occurring now on the earth. Can you share how we can participate in this and resources from the heavenly realm that are here to assist us?
Yes, certainly we are one with all life, and on this Global Oneness Day, that is the most profound knowing that we can tap into. And the global oneness, you know, the oneness of life, it isn't just a lofty platitude or wishful thinking. It is a profound truth. And what it means at the very essence is that every particle and wave of life throughout the whole of creation is interconnected, interrelated, and independent. And when we focus on this blessed planet and this awakening that's taking place in this shift of consciousness, the most important, significant part of my knowing in all of the awakening that I've been through eons of time, just like each and every one of us, is the realization of this divine presence, the I am presence. And in the beginning, I would invoke the light, and in my mind's eye, I would see the light flowing from the heart of God through my crown chakra into the divinity of my heart. And then I would send that forth to bless all life on this planet in any way I could. And I would see myself with the inner vision as this little sun pulsating in Tucson, Arizona, projecting out rays of light to wherever I was invoking it, for my family, my friends, my location, and humanity in a way that I would understand. But then with the beings of light, our sisters and brothers in the family of humanity from the realms of illumined truth who have evolved to a higher level of consciousness, wanted me to understand is that we each are powerful beyond our knowing. And through our I am presence, which is the divinity within us, that is the part of us that is one with the omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, cosmic I am, all that is. And that I am presence is one with the I am presence of every man, woman, and child belonging to or serving the earth at this time. And when we say at the beginning of our invocations and our prayers, I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. When I learned to do that, and I experienced in my mind's eye this explosion of light expanding from the divinity of my heart, and I became not only this shaft of light for myself, but then through the oneness of every person's I am presence, an identical shaft of light began flowing to them. Now, what this means is that we are, when we say I am my I am presence and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity, instantaneously we shift from the stream of light flowing into our being to 7.5 billion streams of light flowing through the I am presence of every man, woman, and child on earth. And that I am presence takes that light and utilizes it in perfect alignment with that person's divine plan and the highest good of all concerned. We become the microcosm of the macrocosm, and we are one, and our power is limitless from that level of invoking the light on behalf of all life on this planet.
Wow, Patricia, that's really powerful. This is something that you're guiding people to do, to invoke this and to create this light and that connects with others, that creates this healing process. Can you just talk a little bit more about that? That sounds pretty
Absolutely. Impactful. And we can do it. All we have to say is, I'm going to repeat it, I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. And we can say, what I ask for myself, I ask for all life in perfect alignment with each person's divine plan and the highest good. But we don't really even need to say that, because each person's I am presence functions only from that level of consciousness. So even if we're just improving something in our own life, if we're going through a difficult challenge or a financial crisis or a divorce or a health challenge or problems with our family, or if we want to improve any facet of life on this planet, calling forth a higher level of consciousness in divine government, or bringing forth eternal peace through all the military systems, whatever it is we're invoking, that gives the I am presence of every person permission to utilize that light in alignment with their divine plan. So when we do that, we invoke whatever it is that is our heart call. What is our mission? What feels our heart call of what we want to improve on this planet? How do we want to assist humanity? And then we do that simultaneously through the 7.5 billion souls on this planet, and each I am presence takes that light that we have invoked and utilize it in alignment with that person's divine plan, in that person's family, in that person's community, in that person's sphere of influence. And so it greatly empowers the I am presence of every person to be the light of the world, which is why we're here in the first place.
Wow, well, I'm sure that touched everybody on the call. So we've got that going, that energy going, I'm sure, across Global Oneness Day here during this program. Thank you so much, Patricia. And so this, Matt, coming over to you, how can a person transmit heart-centered consciousness to everyone that they meet? We're kind of going to stay on this thread of just sending, healing energy to others.
Well, oftentimes when we focus on people in the world and sending our light to them, which is obviously a wonderful thing to do, sending blessings to those who are healing and to even humanity at large, but oftentimes what tends to be the oversight is that we are sending the light outward, and the sender is often excluded from the process. I tend to work with a lot of heart-centered light workers who do so much for so many other people, and they wind up feeling depleted and left out of that care. And so what I have found in really tapping into the quantum reality of life itself and just tapping into life beyond, the cause and effect way that we perceive it, is that our heart is the center of the universe. Our heart is its own earth, and everything we see outside of us is a projection of that. Now, the confusion oftentimes is people think, oh, well, if everything's a projection of myself, then the things in the world, I must be the cause of that. What have I done wrong to cause the things in the world? And the way I like to kind of word it is that we ourselves are not the cause of what we see projected out in the world. We are actually the solutions that came here to resolve it for the well-being of all. So when a light worker or a heart-centered being learns to take time and say, the blessings I wish for all in the world, the blessings that, and as Patricia was saying, my I am presence sends out to the I am presence of all, let that be given to all by me embracing my heart. So as we embrace our heart as its own earth, every person on the planet begins to receive more love, healing energy, a greater sense of connection, and a greater alignment to their own intuitive wisdom, because we are taking the time to assist in uplifting humanity to its highest vibration, and we're doing that by embracing ourselves. So what we tend to find through this process is by loving our own hearts more often, we contribute to the elevation and the expansion and the transformation of humanity. So instead of just, the focus being, let me send light out, light out, light out, and then this heart feels like it's left out, let me make my heart the space through which all of my light enters, and through my heart it is simultaneously distributed to all beings in the world, because my heart dwells in the bodies of all. I am not the cause of the problems in view, but I am the solution to all things in sight that will be healed and transformed by the power of my unconditional love.
Wow. Gosh, we hadn't talked about doing this, Matt, but if it feels right, is there just something short, experiential, that we could do with what you just shared?
Absolutely. So let's say we are looking out into the world. We're looking at perhaps the global circumstances. We're looking at the political climate. Maybe someone on a personal level is looking at their relationships. Basically, whatever worry grabs our attention, we look at that worry and concern and we say, what is it that will resolve what concerns me right now? And so maybe you see a couple fighting in front of you and you thought, okay, they should be blessed with peace. So we put our hand on our heart and we say to ourselves, may you be blessed with peace. And the peace that is intended into your heart is simultaneously distributed to all hearts. And of course, through the power of free will, that peace will trickle in as quickly as slowly as their soul will allow it. Let's say you're in a relationship and your partner is perhaps not telling you the words you'd like to hear. So you ask yourself, what are the words I would like to hear from them? And you say those words to yourself. I love you. I respect you. I want to hear everything that you have to say. I cherish you. And by giving yourself those words, that energy also goes to your partner and to all partners across time and space. So through this exercise, what are the concerns you have? What's the one concern you have about the world or your personal life? And what is the vibration that will transform it? And can we just, with our hands on our heart, say, may you be blessed with peace, with love, with clarity, with oneness, with health, with perfection, with grace, with ease, with joy. And all of the beautiful blessings we pour into our hearts confirm all of the healing energy that we are pouring into the planet. It is through our hearts that we love that all things are transformed. We may become the first reflection of what is transformed by the power of our loving energy, but we are simply leading the way to allow an entire planet to follow our loving example. So by loving ourselves more, not less, we take every concern as an opportunity to offer endless blessings to the world by embracing the innocence of our hearts more often.
Really beautiful, Matt. Thank you. Wow. And I'm going to just stay with this theme, Kenji, as I come over to you, because, of course, I know many listeners, this is so profound as we're talking about the process of going within and loving ourselves and healing the world as we heal ourselves. But many listeners are just troubled by the challenges that are out in the world that we see on mainstream media. So Kenji, as people are watching the nightly news, or as they're exposed to media, seeing these the polarity, the tragedies, the huge challenges, what do you recommend to people? How can people awaken spiritually, and how can they respond to these events in a way that's helpful to them and to the world around us?
Well, two possibilities come to mind. Choose not to watch the news in any form. Or you can see the world playing out from a place of enchanted neutrality, the drama from the past. See, the thing is, we don't have to get energetically involved with what's happening in the world or in other people's lives. And to me, the best way to share compassion, that's love and caring, but not taking on and absorbing and becoming affected by, would be that neutral observer from the place of the quantum. So where we get stuck, where people get confused and they get angry and they get upset at what's happening in the world, is because they identify too much with that, and they take it on energetically, and then they become it in some kind of a strange way. And then if they don't clear that energy, then it kind of builds up over time. So think about, this is an example, just kind of a general example of a light weaver being born into a family that doesn't recognize them and, shall we say, creates chaos in the person's childhood and growing up. You know, we used to call it like being born in a kind of a toxic environment, but I don't quite like that word. But it's when we come in. So here's the thing. If you want to really kind of get to the nitty-gritty, the question would be, at what point in your life did you close down and begin to hide your light? So for me, I shut down at age 2 and age 4 because on that soul level, I perceived that it would be maybe a little difficult for me growing up in Berkeley, California, to be really wide open and knowing a whole lot of things, but even going to school yet. So I, like probably a lot of us, shut down a bit, and then I knew at some point I would have to like open it up again and start to remember. So, making a long story short, here's the thing. If we just choose now to open up our light and to be very present with awareness in the here and now on a daily basis, that will begin to not only shift and change people's lives, but the community, the nation, the planet, and even the off-planet stuff. So my feeling is If we choose to become awake, and whatever that means for you, to become fully awake, to be really present with your life, that's all we can ask of ourselves. Because I feel the key is being awake. And then you can begin to really live your life. You'll begin to feel the joy. You'll begin to feel the flow in an everyday sense. You don't have to pretend to be somebody you're not. You're just going to be yourself. And we're not talking about your personality self, but we're talking about that presence, that omnipresence that we were born into originally, that presence. That in itself is a healing power. That is a manifestation of grace moving through our lives. So I would say choose to be your true nature, not your personality nature, but your soulness in an everyday sense. And it's the little things that will begin to change in your life. Little steps lead to big ones.
Yeah, just being your authentic divine self. And because we're interrelated, interconnected, and interdependent, it touches everyone, which is one of the themes that's been coming through here from each of you. Beautiful. I love also, Kenji, that you brought in your own life where you said, when I shut down for a while, you speaking back to Berkeley, but then I came back in because I think, we're speaking to people from where they are. I'm going to guess a lot of listeners can relate to that of, wow, me too, I've shut down too. But you're saying you can come back. You can come back right now. So
yeah, you can come back at any time. That could be the new software program. I can come back now. See, humanity is literally spaced out, if you know what I mean. We've got all these fragments out there that are not connected with the heart, and our bodies. And since our body is the vehicle for the expression of that divineness that we are, one way is to choose to begin to collect yourselves again, all those places in your life where you spaced out and you shut down so that you wouldn't get hurt or even killed, abused, punished, made fun of, neglected, abandoned, all of that stuff. And the beautiful thing that so many people are teaching now is that one's hardships, and boy, we've had a lot, is really our blessing because it'll make us strong. In the long run, it'll make us strong. It'll make us grounded. And it teaches us forgiveness, that it was an illusion, that the suffering was the illusion. See, when we wake up, we begin to realize that, wow, suffering's really not real like I thought it was. There really is. It's not the real thing. So I believe that we're here to train the ego in a very nice way to accept, to receive the divinity that comes from an on high, as they used to say. So I believe that we're here to educate and train the personality ego to receive. And in that way, it won't feel like it's left behind. It'll feel like, wow, I'm part of this wonderful energy that feels really good. And yes, I can be loved. I can be accepted. And yes, I can share love. And I can share who I am without any thought of, oh, will they judge me? Will they think I'm crazy? That's a other side thing of, God, am I going crazy for what I'm experiencing? No, you're just waking up.
Uplift it and heal it. Awesome. Thank you, Kenji. And I want to bring in another dimension here, Patricia, as I turn to you, that of course, the heavenly realm is here supporting all of us and our work at this time on the earth. There was something that you published called Compassionate Heart by Mary Magdalene. It was channeled through Natalie Glasson, where that speaks to this of resources that are here now supporting people in this in their own spiritual practice and supporting the earth at this time. Can you talk a little bit about that, Patricia?
Yes, we're understanding more and more about the other realms that are assisting us at this time, and the three life waves evolving on this planet are the human kingdom, through our I am presence in all of our learning experiences. There's the angelic kingdom that we're very aware of that works with us in our assistance and guides us and helps us, messengers of God. In addition to that, there's the elemental kingdom, which is the divine intelligence, the mighty Elohim, who are the builders of form, the directors of the elements, the earth, the air, the water, the fire, and the ether elements that comprise every atomic and subatomic particle and wave of physical matter that we exist in on this planet. And all of these beings are working with us. In addition to that, we have the entire company of heaven. We have ascended masters, cosmic beings, galactic beings, solar logos, all of the wonderful leaders and spiritual avatars of all of the various world religions, and the saints, and all of them are just our sisters and brothers that have evolved to a higher level of evolution. They're like college professors compared to us being kindergarten students. They are one with the all-encompassing presence of our Father, Mother, God, the cosmic I am, all that is, and they all live, move, and breathe within what is now being referred to as the divine matrix. And I think this is probably what Einstein was trying to call the unified field theory. Literally, it is the body of God, and all that exists through all creation lives, moves, breathes in this body of God and is interconnected, interrelated. But we are in this unique experiment on Earth, and we are moving into a higher frequency. And this experiment is that we are ascending into the higher frequencies of the new Earth in ways that has never occurred before in all creation. The beings of light have said never has a planet that has fallen to this depth of pain and suffering, separation and duality been given the opportunity to move forward this quickly into the realms of light. And when we complete this, and the beings of light are saying we are succeeding beyond the greatest expectations of heaven, we are taking our collective experience with us, which means that from that moment of our completed ascension victory in the light, from that moment, this delving into the depths of pain and suffering that the earth has experienced, that knowledge from that experience is going to be taken with us into the inner schools of learning, recorded in the halls of knowledge, so that from that time forth, the sons and daughters of God through all creation will be able to learn about this without ever having to delve into the physical depths of pain and suffering that we're experiencing. We're literally creating a new octave of godhood. And let me tell you, the legions of light throughout infinity are elated that the sons and daughters of God will never have to delve to this depth of pain and suffering again. So what is occurring is that our Father, Mother, God are granting them, the beings of light in the realms of living truth, cosmic dispensations. And they have been granted permission to come through the psychic astral realm, the veil, to meet us halfway, so it's infinitely easier for us to communicate and connect with them. And they have also been granted permission to amplify our efforts, every prayer, every invocation of the light, anything we do, any moment of the day or night that adds to the light of the world. They've been given permission to amplify our efforts 1,000 times, 1,000-fold. So that means no matter what we're doing that's adding to the light of the world, it's as though 1,000,000 people are doing it. And when we say, I am my I am presence and I'm one with the I am presence with all humanity, it's as though 1,000,000 times 7.5 billion souls are invoking the light on the planet. This is why all the prophecies of old have said this transformation will occur in what will be perceived to be the twinkling of an eye compared to the millions of years that we have been struggling, weeping and wailing through our valley of tears since the fall of humanity.
Wow, talking about a hopeful message. And, of course, I know we all know that to be true, all of us that have been on the path, that this is our common destiny. But it's so beautifully expressed there. Patricia, thank you. And I want to stay here with this heavenly realm discussion, Matt, because you've had your own really personal experiences. I mentioned when I introduced you your experience at 8 years old, but also another experience I read about where you were there with a coach for Jesus and other heavenly resources. Can you talk a little bit about this, how people can mobilize these heavenly resources to just support them individually and in their work with the collective?
Well, I think that when we speak about bridging heaven and earth and bringing the heavenly realms into the earth plane, I think we have to start with looking at the availability of our own heavenly qualities. So I think maybe the question is, how do we begin cultivating the heavenly qualities of our true and highest angelic potential? And one of the words that I really love that becomes a really simple ongoing spiritual practice that I think is one of the most beautiful words in our language is admiration. And admiration is the ability to focus on the inherent beauty of one's soul and to be grateful for the qualities and talents and uniqueness that each of us possess. So as a living practice, if we made it our intention to deliberately look for qualities and characteristics and talents that we admire about everyone we encounter, as if every moment of admiration is a blessing being passed from your heart for the evolution of that soul, then one moment of admiration at a time, we are literally spending our day, whether as mothers and fathers and school teachers and working professionals or light workers, whether we are out in the world as light workers or tend to be incognito light workers behind the scenes. When we allow the living practice of admiration to lead the way, no matter what comes our way, even when someone acts in a way that is not very desirable towards you, or who treats you in a way where they're obviously not aware of all that's here to be admired about you, by taking time to admire qualities about those, even when they're not embodying their highest angelic potential, helps to heal that soul and contribute so much to the vibration of the planet on a collective level. And all we have to do is really open our eyes and really intend to not just live each moment, but may I find things to admire about all that I encounter. May I respond to any misfortune that comes my way by admiring those who treat me so unfortunately, and may I take time to find things about myself that I admire as my contribution to this awakening planet. So I think one of the most beautiful ways to really start to hone and cultivate our true heavenly potential is to really increase the vibration of light within us, and the most practical way to do that is to always look for things to admire in ourselves and others.
Beautiful. Allow the living practice of admiration to be what we carry with us around each day. Really beautiful, Matt. Thank you. And I told you this hour was going to go fast. We've got, we've got about 17 minutes, and I'm going to need about 3 here at the end. So far, I've boxed you all in a little bit because I've really tried to go into very specific things. But I know you all came to Global Oneness Day with your own real deep heart inspirations. And, of course, you all are traveling the country and oftentimes the world with these messages of oneness, of awakening, of spiritual practice. So, Kenji, maybe we can start with you if you were to take 3 or 4 minutes just to bring in messages that you want to make sure that you leave with listeners here. We've got a great listening audience here for Global Oneness Day. We're on this Amplifield platform, so our acoustics are really up above anything that we've experienced. So what do you want to just take 3 or 4 minutes to share a message that you'd like to leave with listeners here?
So we're going to do stereo, huh? 5.1 surround sound?
We're stereo, yeah. And Amplifield also has this huge youth demographic, millennials and youth and handheld devices. So we've got a lot of listeners here this year that we haven't had to this point.
Okay. So here's a message in living color and stereo, Dolby, newest edition. So we're all going to make it. No one's going to be left behind. We each are going to awaken in our own divine right timing. So please be patient. Treat every day with a lot of gratitude and thankfulness for being alive, for having life, for having vision, for having inspiration. Know that the power of grace is with you at all times, seen and unseen. Know that your difficulties, your problems, your challenges, your stress is but a stepping stone that will lead all of us into a greater knowing of that which we are, which is beyond words and description. Know that the earth, the blessed earth, Mother Gaia, supports you in every facet of your physical life, and that your soul, your guardian angel, your helpers are always with you. And all you need to do is tune in and ask. Ask for clarity. Ask for my next step. Ask to be shown from your higher self, how can I do this differently? And I think most importantly, asking Prime Source within how to love more, how to receive more, and how to be a more clear and perfect channel for the power of love, for the power of grace. And know, in spite of what's going on in the world, that you are bigger, way bigger, than what you see on the news, what you read in the newspapers and the magazines. And that heaven on earth is but a whisper away. And one's illumination, divine awakening, can come at any moment, unexpectedly, even in the dream state. And that your learning experiences, your everyday experiences, the wisdom that you get from your daily life, you bring back at night when your body's asleep. You bring it back to Prime Source. You bring back the wisdom so that God can grow and God can evolve into the unexpected, the untouchable, and the infinite. So know that you are blessed each and every day, and that you will make it, because it is written.
Beautiful. Wow, Kenji, and there's a website that people can go to follow your work.
KenjiKumara.com. It's a very new website. We've had it up for, about a month maybe.
All right, KenjiKumara.com, so people will want to check that out to follow Kenji's work. I'm going to also read just something that you wrote here that I think is really profound, Kenji, before we move to Patricia. You said, own your power, stand in your truth, be how God created you to be, allow peace into your life, be of good cheer, remember to smile, laugh, and cry. I think that's really powerful. Okay, Patricia, and wow, so here with 4 minutes or so, yes, the message that you'd really love to leave with Global Oneness Day listeners that as we're closing out this panel.
Thank you, Stephen. One of the most important things at this time is that I want people to understand there are so many people that are buried in their life experiences to the point where they can't get their head above the mud puddle enough to even perceive that they're a light worker or that they have the ability to add to the light of the world. And the information pouring forth from the heavenly realms is that nothing could be further from the truth. The reality is, because of this unique experiment working toward what was the shift of the ages, which took place December 21st and 22nd and 2012. There isn't a single person in the physical plane at this time that was given permission to embody on earth that had not already accomplished God victoriously in some other time frame or dimension, whatever it is that they volunteered to do to assist with this facet of the divine plan. In other time frames and dimensions, we'd volunteer to do things, and sometimes it was more than we could handle, but our God self would say, great, give it your best shot. If you succeed, fine. If you don't, you'll have another opportunity to fulfill that mission. This time it was different because the earth and all her life were hanging in the balance of whether we were going to make it. And as Kenji mentioned, absolutely every man, woman, and child has moved forward in the light. So what we need to understand now is that regardless of what's taking place in our life experience, we have all of the skill, all of the strength, all of the wisdom, and all of the support from our I Am Presence in the company of heaven that we need to fulfill our divine plan. And all we need to do, as we mentioned earlier, is just begin adding to the light of the world. Some people are so miserable that they don't think there's any light. But when you admire a sunset, when you look at a beautiful flower, when you prepare a wonderful meal and acknowledge the elementals that have prepared that meal for you, when you love a baby, when you send your love to your family and loved ones, every single thing you do that is balanced with love and harmony, charged with that frequency of divine love, is adding to the light of the world. And the more you do that, the more you say, I am my I Am Presence, and I am one with the I Am Presence of all humanity. And then everything you invoke from the heavenly realms flows through 7.5 billion souls. There is not another more powerful thing you can do to add to the light of the world. You are powerful beyond your knowing, and your time to fulfill that divine mission is now.
Whoa, beautiful. Patricia, and a website that people can go to follow your work.
Our website is eraofpeace.org, and on that website you can sign up for our free email. There's lots of free things available, as well as the other tools, videos, webinars that are all free that are available to help you understand the information that we're sharing, which is all designed to awaken within you the truth of who you are so that you won't need to depend on any outside source, but you can just hear that God guidance from your own divine presence.
Okay, and that's eraofpeace.org. People want to check that out. And, wow, we've got just beautiful messages here that such a heart-opening program. This is my favorite, so is one of the messages pouring in. I think this person is probably speaking for a lot of listeners, so thank you, listener, for bringing in that message. It is a truly heart-opening call. Wow. And Matt, let's come over to you for the thing that you'd love to leave with listeners here during Global Oneness Day, and we've got about 4 or 5 minutes here.
Sure. People tend to be as disempowered as they are unable to receive. And so with the time that you're providing, I'd like to give every listener an opportunity to just deepen their ability to receive, because when we become better receivers, we become more generous and thoughtful givers. And so it is the generous giver within us that's transforming the planet, and it's that generous giver that is awakened by becoming a better receiver. So as everyone is listening to this, we can just sit, whether with our eyes closed or open, with our hands on our heart, and just allow my voice to speak to your innocence of being, to your heart. And perhaps what your heart wants to hear is, I love you. I love you. I love you. Knowing that the love we are receiving in our hearts is equally being distributed to all hearts. So as we receive love on a deeper level, it gives everyone a chance to receive love and to awaken the light of divinity within them as well. I love you. I love you. And maybe from past experiences, the words I love you were spoken by people that hurt you. Maybe the I love you is tainted by things that happened in the past where the people that you wanted to be loved by betrayed or abandoned you or hurt you. So maybe instead we start with words like, you are safe with me now. You are safe with me now. You are safe with me now. Perhaps the innocence within you, whose voice was taken by past experiences or was left feeling like they had no choice when the circumstances out of their control seemed to occur. So perhaps one of the simplest ways we learn to be a better receiver of love is just by asking our heart, what can I do to serve you? And because our heart dwells in the bodies of all, we are becoming the angels, the spirit guides in training within ourselves who appeal to our heart as we are in service to all hearts. What can I do to serve you, dear soul? What can I do to make it safe for you to receive my love, beautiful one? What can I do to allow you to receive love? And oftentimes, just by asking such a question, it's not like it responds back with an answer, but it really just wanted the choice it didn't think it had before, and to get back the voice that it seemed to have lost from past experiences. So whether we say to our heart more often, I love you, you are safe with me now, or simply the question of, how may I serve you? Each and every time we love what arises, we are deepening our ability to receive. And the more we can receive our own love, the more light we're able to hold, and the more light we're able to transmit through the generosity of our giving, of our blessings. And so it all starts with being a good receiver, and being a good receiver literally is the cultivation of learning to unconditionally love, honor, adore, and treasure ourselves as the universe always has and always will. I love you. You are safe to receive love now. And no matter what you need, wish, want, or desire, I am always here to serve you as the divine that you are. All is well. You are loved.
Whoa. What a way to culminate this program. And Matt, what site can people go to follow you and your work?
The website is truedivinenature.com, and on that website it has a calendar of upcoming events. And if you sign up for our free newsletter, you get a free energy activation, which was recorded at one of our recent events, a very powerful activation. And that's truedivinenature.com.
Truedivinenature.com. So everybody check that out. I'm sure lots of listeners will. And wow, huge bow to you all. My God. Matt Kahn, Patricia Cota-Robles, Kenji Kimura. Truly stunning. What a heart-opening panel with so much wisdom that's been shared. So much, love, candidly. Just so much love. So thank you all so much. It's just truly stunning. I also want to just take this moment to thank all of the Global Oneness Day co-creators and my partners and colleagues in Humanities team who've been working tirelessly for really about a year to put together Global Oneness Day. And finally, definitely last but not least, thank you to all of you who are listening to this program on the Amplifield platform by phone, webcast, and replay. Next up is a 30-minute keynote with Panache Desai. Panache always offers extraordinary wisdom accessible to all and encourages people to stand in their mastery that is here now. I'll be interviewing Panache. Don't miss this program, this 30-minute keynote. Before we go to our next program, we're going to enjoy a oneness moment and experience 10 seconds of silence so we may connect with the divine within and each other. Let's go ahead and begin our oneness moment right now.